We see you getting after your fitness goals. But what about those money goals? You can count on Credit Karma for a clear view of your finances and your progress, helping you see results so you can keep checking off those financial personal bests and find your way to money. Progress never felt so good. Download the Intuit Credit Karma app and start achieving your money goals today. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on.
Find yourself looking for a new job or change in career? Monster.com is here to help. We are not only here to bring you job postings, but also AI interview prep and salary tools, expert career advice, and top-notch resume services. We've got everything you need to land your perfect job fit. Discover the magic of finding the ideal job with Monster.com. Your future starts now. Visit Monster.com today. Your next job opportunity is just a click away.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for listening to When Reality Hits with Jackson Brittany. Today we have two of our best friends. We're so excited. We have Scheana Shay and Brock Davies here.
Hi.
Hello, the Vanderpump Rules stars in the building. Brock will be running in here any second.
Yeah, he's running a little late. We have had so much car trouble with my Z. It's been 14 years. I think we just call it a day with that car.
Oh, it was the Z.
Yes, the Z.
I thought it was your Explorer. I was like, what is going on?
Oh, no, that car's fine.
You know, okay, really fast. One funny story about a Z. My mom had, what are they, 350 or 360 Zs. And before I got my license, I took it for a joyride. This was so bad. And me and my best friend ran 100% through the house in the Z car.
I remember you telling me this.
Oh, my gosh. Because it goes so fast.
I know.
So I was not used to that. Didn't even have my license yet. Ran straight through a freaking house.
The car was in the kitchen?
The car was all the way touching my closet.
Oh,
I mean, we went through a window. The air conditioning unit was like on top of me. I couldn't get the top down, thank God, or else we could have, like, who knows what could have happened to us. 2x4s, everything came down. Anyways, that was crazy. But I know what everybody wants to hear is some inside scoop about the reunion.
Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it.
I liked your car story. I'm like, you think I have good stories? Brittany, the stories I've heard about you in Kentucky and in your college days are fantastic.
Oh, my gosh. I know. I've already told everybody about me breaking my tooth at the beach, and now I'm telling about my car story. I mean, I was a train wreck.
There's more.
Oh, there's much, much more. So, a lot of people were wondering, and so was I, was there something that happened at the reunion that didn't air, like during your part that you were on? Was there some juicy
I don't know
stuff?
yet because we've only seen one part. I haven't seen the other two parts yet.
But like from that first part where you had to like switch off with Raquel.
Here's the thing. Every year when we film a reunion, I like emotionally black out after.
Yeah.
I get home, my mom goes, how was it? And I'm like, I don't remember. She's like, what do you mean you don't remember? You just filmed it. I'm like, honestly, I can't even think of the conversations we had because it's just so much.
It's so much.
It's so intense. You know, it's like the longest day of the year.
Yeah.
So
it is. Those are rough days. You have to go like straight to vacation right after that usually, or go right to the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bar for sure.
Right.
It's so
Shots.
exhausting, emotionally, mentally, physically. Those reunions are brutal. They are brutal. And people don't understand these three parts. They're 8 hour. They shoot it usually in one day. So it's like 8 hours days of just emotionally draining. It's emotionally draining. It really, really is.
It really is. And I feel like with this reunion, I think too with them doing stuff on Peacock, I can't remember which they showed on Peacock that they didn't show on Bravo because someone I saw comment, they go, oh, there's more Scheana in the Peacock version. But when I watched it last night, I'm like, I don't remember more. But then I guess there was more. So
I mean, there's so many people that it's hard too, you know? And I mean, I will be honest, I felt like Lisa was like holding you guys back a lot.
Oh, don't get me started on this.
I mean, I kind of kept my mouth shut, you
Yeah.
know? Even when Lala came back at me with the, I don't like the bully comment, we're not in pre-K, we're in Bravo. I actually got irritated with her in that moment for saying that.
Oh, yeah.
But then Sandoval said something like kind of on my behalf, and then they started fighting, and I was just like, I'm not even getting involved. I don't have the energy. She's one of my best friends. That comment really annoyed me, but I'm not getting into it, even though it's my job to get into it right now.
You're like, I can't handle it.
Once Sandoval chimed in, I was like, I mean, he's saying what I wanted to say, but then I was like,
but he's right now. He's just trying to,
there was nothing
trying
he
to build
could say.
A friend. He's trying to find a somebody that's close that's going to side with him, you know? So he's going to agree with you.
Scheana's not going to be the one.
But I was like, I mean, yeah, I do agree. There's no age when it comes to bullying. So I was like, he said that, but then she started barking at him and I was like, I'm just going to be quiet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it was like absolutely nuts. James was about to like beat the shit out of Tom Sandoval.
Literally what you didn't see or hear, I thought, because I was like even looking at subtitles. When James came over and they're about to fight, I was like, we don't need any more restraining orders on this show, you guys. Come on, let's all learn from me.
Could you imagine if somebody tried to do that after that reunion or something?
You know?
You never know.
I didn't know if I was going to get arrested at it because, like, what if I wasn't within the 100, or I was, or it just, I was so
do
afraid.
That? Like, how did you guys, like, from behind the scenes point of view, how did they have you to, like, not be around each other?
They literally had a trailer measured minimum 100, if not more than 100 yards away. And they actually measured it. And they were able to orchestrate it where she was in the trailer when I was on stage, and then they put her in a car and drove her this way while they put me in a car and drove me this way. So we never came in contact.
Unnecessary.
So unnecessary.
And so wasted.
Like, was production pissed that they had to do all this extra stuff?
It was so annoying. They became a part in time where I was like, am I even going to be able to go? Because if I can't get it guaranteed, we're going to be within the restraining order dynamics. I'm chancing, like, I could go to jail. I just go worst case scenario. Like, my OCD was on a 10.
I can only imagine how
and
you
I
were.
was like, maybe I just don't go. Maybe I just zoom in. It was like so much, and poor production just having to deal with that. And it was like all her fault.
And I'm kind of upset that, like, I'm sure other people are going to agree with me that we didn't get to see you on stage with both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you were probably the closest to both of them, together other than Ariana. Like,
no, totally.
You're the reason I even kind of knew Raquel, because I didn't really hang out with her unless I was around you.
Yeah.
So I know that hurt you really bad as well.
No, it did. And the thing was, though, I was honestly glad that day with how it worked out because of the restraining order and because of just all of the hatred that was building up inside of me. It was like, I didn't even want to have that conversation with her that day. I wanted it to be a one-on-one right after the incident happened in New York. I wanted to sit down with her one-on-one. And when I wasn't able to do that because she just dipped out and didn't film anymore.
That's
so I didn't have that opportunity. That when it came to the reunion, I'm like, I don't want this to be our first interaction with the peanut gallery chiming in, with everyone. It was just like.
So now that everything's dropped, do you think that you guys will ever talk? Has she ever reached out and apologized?
No, she's never reached out. She's never apologized. I've not heard one thing from her since that night in New York when I walked away from her.
Oh, my gosh.
Nothing. You know that she also only reached out to Ariana and sent her that shitty text because Janet told her, Raquel, saying nothing is still saying something. Like, you need to at least say something.
Yeah.
And that was like Janet's last conversation with her. But that's the only reason she even texted Ariana to begin with.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, and you know what? I'm going to just get right into this because this is what annoyed me the most.
Okay.
Is I can say this because I don't care, but Lisa annoyed me. She annoyed me. I'm sorry. I understand she has to be somewhat neutral in this, and she's not around for 99.9% of that show. Okay, she's not. She taps in when she wants to, which is mainly the reunion. That's for, at least when I was on the show. She shows up when she wants, but then, I mean, I just felt that she was siding with Tom. I just felt like she was siding with him a little bit, and she was kind of trying to, I don't know, be devil's advocate a little bit, but I just feel like she was siding with Tom, and it really annoyed me because she never did that with me when I was on the show. She went against me like crazy.
You weren't her business partner, though, also. You were just a cast member.
I know, but I just feel like she was
not saying it's okay, but just I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
Is she's feeling like
she's probably feeling like her businesses are getting attacked.
And they were.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
You think that's the reason why she was didn't it, like, because I saw it definitely bothered Lala. Lala was all over that. And I was like, yes, girl, like, yes, stick up for her, because I felt like at the time I was the only one that would actually give it back to Lisa. So it was nice to see Lala do that, and I loved it. I'm like, 'cause at the end of the day, you know, she kind of treats us as little kids sometimes. And I'm like, we're grown adults, okay? And, you know, so it was nice to see Lala kind of come at it, but I'm not going to lie, it really annoyed me that Lisa was, I don't know, did you feel like it was a little bit in his corner?
I think she also just, and not defending anything, but I feel like she felt like it was literally everyone against him because it was, and she needed some sort of seeing the other side to try and keep the conversation going. Like, I think there was more to it than her just trying to blindly defend them because his behavior was indefensible. And I think as you see parts 2 and 3, you'll see more of that side of Lisa because she wasn't all just like pro Tom that day.
Good. Yeah, because like I said, she barely is on the show. So when she kind of gives her like opinion, I'm like, you're not even there. You have no idea what's going on. And it just irks me sometimes. I know she gets notes or whatever. She'll get like a daily that says, okay, this is what's going on. But then she'll put her 2 cents in and it's just kind of like, okay, you're not ever around. Like, enough.
I think she too was still trying to see like, okay, well, this is a person who, you know, has worked for me for so long, who I'm in business with. And like, I'm still going to see, like I normally do, still seeing the good in that person, even though the person did a bad thing. I felt like she was just trying as hard as she could to be like, I know he messed up, but like, remember, you know, the last 12 years of friendship. And she said this to me and I was like, Lisa, but I can't move forward in this friendship.
Right.
Literally,
and I guess
too much has happened.
Yeah, it's like a betrayal.
Deep.
Yeah.
It's too much. I'm sorry. Like, I draw the line somewhere. It's very rare I draw a line, but when I do, I'm like, I can. That's what, like, that scene with Sandoval was so heartfelt and heartbreaking because I was like, I will miss you. The person you were to me, I'm going to miss that person.
I know.
And this kind of leads into this other question that I had in my head. Is there a world where, time or whatever, where you would ever forgive Tom? Is there a time? Is it going to take years? Is it going to take months? Whatever. Is there a world where you can be like, okay, I can kind of maybe move past this, or is this completely done?
I think Ariana is priority here, you know, and how she feels moving forward with him. If there was a day where she wakes up and realizes, I think she already has, that this was the best thing to ever happen to her. And if she chooses to forgive him, I think that will make it easier for others. But I don't see anyone forgiving him before she does, if she ever will.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so I've chosen my side. She is one of my bestest friends. I know what she needs, and I'm going to give that to her.
Yeah.
You know, if that means I lose Sandoval, then you know what, Sandoval? Goodbye. You did a bad thing.
Yeah.
And these are the consequences. It really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But
he did it to you guys. He did it to everybody. And it was just a level of betrayal. Like, I don't know if anybody can come back from that. Like, he betrayed you. He betrayed Ariana.
The thing, it wasn't
everybody.
a one-time thing. You know, it was going on for so long.
Right in front of your all's noses, too.
Yeah. So it's like, if Ariana one day chooses to forgive, you know, maybe she just chooses to move past it, be indifferent, not care.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation. But I don't...
I agree with you. But watching that scene with you and Sandoval was really rough. And, you know, especially when he was trying to say that she was going to kill herself. And it's so hard to even talk about this stuff because mental health is like so important.
Yeah.
But I could not believe that he said that. Whenever Scheana and Sandoval were talking and he said that he would try to break up with her and she said she was going to kill herself.
I was very upset with him. I don't even remember what my reaction was to that in that moment. When he said that and we're filming.
Yes.
That's exactly. You don't put that stuff out there.
I lost my shit on him.
Like that was so hard to watch.
Okay. That's why I was
sad.
screaming at him. I was like, if that's the case, then you fly in her mom, her brother, you bring her best friends, you fucking leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do the right thing. You don't fuck her friend.
No. Like, he just made things a million times worse. But, like, I could not believe that he so publicly said that.
I know.
Like, how dare you?
No, that isn't... Putting someone else's mental health like that out there in that way is not okay.
No,
whether
not
that
at all.
conversation happened or didn't or whatever, that was not your place to say.
Yeah.
I was so mad at him.
Yeah, that was like heartbreaking to see. That was one of like the toughest scenes, I think, of the whole season. Because that was just like really, really sad. You've been stewing about a health problem you have. You almost resort to texting your group chat to get your friends' opinions. I've done that. Actually, I have a group chat with my best friends from back home called Cheaper Than Therapy.
I have more group chats than I do contacts.
You're extremely unlikely to find quality medical advice in your group chat, though, even if you're the number one guy in the group, Jax.
That's right.
You still need help. But you can find it from a doctor on ZocDoc.
Thousands of medical professionals on ZocDoc are there to help you. They listen like a friend and give you the the expert care you need.
ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun.
When you're not feeling your best and you're just trying to hold it together, finding great care shouldn't take up all your energy.
Yeah, like that's so annoying whenever you are trying to find like a therapist or a doctor or something like that, and you never know what's right because you don't know the reviews, you don't know. I mean, you had so many issues.
Did you watch season 3 of Vanderpump Rules? I went through 3 different therapists.
Yeah,
I wish I had this. I wish I had ZocDoc.
And the fact that it's a free app is like pretty dope. Using ZocDoc's free app that millions of users rely on, you can find the right doctor that meets your needs and fits your schedule.
Book an appointment with a few taps in their app and start feeling better faster with ZocDoc.
Go to ZocDoc.com/reality and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's like awesome too because we have a baby now. Like we're in the process of trying to find him a dentist and stuff. Like we could use ZocDoc to help us with that and get something that's close to where we live. Yeah, so we're not driving all over LA.
I mean, word of mouth is great and all, but like just getting actual reviews from people that even we don't know and it is good.
Yeah.
I think going on there, checking out reviews and seeing what everybody else thinks is good.
Because we obviously want nothing but the best for our little cruising. That's ZocDoc.com. ZocDoc.com/reality. ZocDoc.com/reality.
Where do you think right now, after seeing, after listening to Lisa talk to Ariana, and as of today, as of right now, where does Ariana and Lisa's relationship stand? Where do you think? Because I know Ariana respects Lisa, Lisa respects Ariana, but Ariana made it very clear, if you are friends with Tom Sandoval, you have no place in my life. Is she an exception?
Said that Lisa is the exception, however, they won't be as close. And she won't be confiding things in her, and I think that still stands today.
And she's not going to be going to Tom Tom.
No.
Brock's here!
Hey, Brock. What's going on? Poor guy. I swear to God, if I had $1 for every time he's like having car trouble.
Dad mode at its best. It's parenting, even though we don't have a kid.
Sometimes we bring Cruz to the studio.
He's rolling around here. But that's a token Sandoval move. That's a deflection. He loves to deflect and like, you know how he does the but. He can't just say, you know what? I screwed up. I messed up. I'm going to do this. He has to do this. But. That's just what he does. He can't, can't just own up.
I know I say a lot, but
Whoa.
I say like a lot too.
I know. It's the most annoying thing too when you have a podcast and people are like, can you
I know. I'm like, no.
I know.
I just said it again.
I know.
And now it's all I'm going to be able to hear is me saying like crap.
Well, Brock, welcome. First of all, I did not see you part of the first part of the reunion. What did you think about all this? Like, what was your thoughts on all this? I know you are Tom Sandoval's friend before this, so
we need to know Brock's
where do you stand on all this? Obviously you stand with your wife too, but what's your opinion on all this?
I feel like my opinion in this whole situation isn't really an opinion because I am new to the group, right? And when this came out, I've been around for three and a half years. So I was like, is this normal? Like, what's going on? I didn't understand, like, the actual overall of it.
I feel like that's the token thing for everyone that comes into this group. Is this normal?
Yeah.
That's maybe the new merch shirt.
Because, no.
A new merch shirt is dropping. Is this normal? Because anybody who comes into this group within the last 10 years, Allie,
me.
Everybody goes, is this normal? I think that's our new merch shirt.
But let's just
constant hanging out with everyone's exes.
Yeah. And that's like, and Brock said again, is this normal?
So when it came to having an opinion on it, it's not my opinion to have because you guys have, like, the audience has 10 years of this relationship together.
Yeah, but still, Brock, like, Scheana especially was so close to Sandoval, and you obviously got close to Sandoval.
Well, that's a different question.
And Raquel.
It's like, how did I feel about that topic? Because for me, what affected me more was actually the friendships with Scheana, with Sandoval, and Rachel, okay? And that was, for me, it was just frustrating because I just see my girlfriend, now wife, always put herself out there and just get walked over by people. And then so her closest to betray her, it's just hard to see. So then all I can really do is just step back and just try and support her because it was hard for her to express her feelings because, again, her friend just had an affair. So it was touch and go. All I could do for that whole thing was just step back, take myself out of it, and just support her. So I did that.
Like,
my opinion doesn't matter.
Well, I'm asking your opinion. It matters. It doesn't matter.
I mean, when there's a affair, an affair is an issue. You know, a 1 off, 2 off, you gotta nip it in the butt, or you gotta own up to it. All they need to do is shut the fuck up, like you just said, and just say, "This is what happened," and that's it.
And what did they think was going to happen? Did they think I was going to stay friends with both of them after they did this to Ariana and have been lying to me and just everything? I'm like, did you think we were going to just stay friends?
And the way she told you, too, like, wasn't it so very, like, nonchalant? Like,
Brittany, it was wild. Like, just zero expression, zero remorse, zero anything. It was just like, you know, in Clueless, when she runs over the car, was like, oops, my bad.
Oh my God, that's like perfect.
Do you think,
that was it? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Do you think there's something wrong upstairs with her, or do you think she's just extremely calculated or smart?
I think it could be a combination of a lot of things, to be honest. I've gone back and forth with, is she dumb or is she very calculated?
Yeah. I can't, now, like, because, you know, I'm getting like, she could be very calculated now.
So,
you know, because in the beginning it was like, gosh, she's an idiot. But
do
now,
you guys watch Euphoria?
Yeah.
Yeah, we love you.
So someone texted me today about a theory they have about Rachel.
What?
Because she was a massive Euphoria fan, and Sydney Sweeney's character sleeps with her best friend's man, and literally... This is what played out on Vanderpump Rules. Like, what if in her sick, twisted, calculated mind, she was like, I want to be like Sydney Sweeney.
That was actually a question from Jessica Lynn. Does Rachel actually love Sandoval, or did she just want a bigger storyline?
Because, by the way,
I don't think she's capable of real love.
And let's go back on your first question, but your question just before. I generally felt that Raquel has an issue, and it's not that she's calculated. She just doesn't know herself, and she doesn't know any. And so she's trying to find herself through relationships, through people. Because I feel like, and this is given it to her when she was born. She was given up by her mother and raised by her mother's sister. And then she was raised by these two women, knowing that her mum did that, right? So and that's where I'm trying to get into her mind.
Yeah,
because I don't think she's this calculated, because it's just consistently just falling over herself. I think it is just naive, stupidity, and also abandonment from that.
Well, I hope she's getting help. I mean,
and I'm not trying to like sugarcoat that, but
no, I get it.
Then there's a problem when it's just continuous. You're like, well, this is a pattern.
Yeah. This is always why Ariana and I had such a soft spot for her, because we knew how she was raised and all of those issues she had with her family dynamic. But
she's old enough now not to realize. You know what I mean?
Not to act on it.
Yeah. So it's like,
I mean, I definitely always thought she was so nice. I would have never saw this coming. I mean, I just was like, what the actual hell is happening here?
No.
It was just absolutely nuts.
4.1 million people?
4.1 million viewers.
Oh my gosh. Wow. If anything good came from this, it's that the ratings went way up.
Right?
I think it was just a reminder that you guys are a part of pop culture. For 10 years, regardless of people want to be, reality TV. For 10 years, people have watched you in the side corner of their eye, in their house, cooking food. Honey, what are you watching? Oh, yeah, I'll watch this with you. People have watched for 10 years.
Yeah.
No, literally.
And it was just like a whole reminder, like, oh, actually, we do love these people.
Yeah, and it got so big that people who never had even heard of the show started watching. You know what I mean?
So many people have binged 10 seasons in the last 3 months.
Even we were gaining new fans. I'm like, all right, cool.
I know. I was like, in season 3, I'm back on season 2, and I'm on season 1 now. I'm like, oh my gosh, people are diving and asking questions.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, is it just me, or are you guys pissed off too that Tom and Rachel are not even together?
Here's the thing.
So
are they not?
They're not.
Is this a PR stunt with this Austin girl?
I know. I was reading up on that because you mentioned it to me, and I was like, what?
She looks a lot like Billie Lee.
Oh, really?
I think, she's got blonde hair and blue eyes like Ariana.
Yeah.
Billie Lee.
I don't know.
But here's the thing. What if, Rachel had a conversation with Sandoval where he thinks they were broken up, but then she's been in therapy in this facility, and for the last couple weeks, she thinks they're still together, but then I don't know.
Rachel cannot handle the pressure that's come her way.
Yeah.
She and she has no idea. Neither of them did. None of us did. And she cannot handle that. And then on top of that, then she's having to lie because they're trying to get their story straight.
Yes.
And then they're trying to cover up and then have a restraining order and crisis PR. Like, this woman has She's made no decisions by herself, and she continues to do that.
Okay.
So then how
why does she also continue sending postcards?
Because it was
It
was a postcard. It wasn't a fucking closed envelope. It was because she wanted you guys to read it. Are you kidding me?
Wait, what?
She sent a postcard to Tom and Ariana's house, and she's like been sending letters and stuff.
Yeah.
She sent a letter, and Ariana sees the letter with to Sandoval.
Knows it's her.
And but she can't open it; it's illegal.
Right.
But then the motherfucker has the audacity to go. I'll go one step further of being an absolute twat and writes a postcard with the postcard was Sedona
I didn't
with
know
a
about
lightning
the postcard.
bolt. A lightning bolt in Sedona. And then she writes.
And she sent it to Ariana's home.
She sends a postcard, so it's there for her to read.
Yeah.
That is calculated, and that is a cunt.
Wait, hold on. Did she send this after Ariana publicly said on Watch What Happens Live that she couldn't read it because it was in an envelope?
Probably.
There we go.
So maybe she isn't that calculated. Oh my
But
gosh.
also, like, do you have access to your phone? Are you watching TV? I thought you were in a facility right now.
Yeah, no,
but
she's
then
at the Marriott Hotel.
Well, and then her account was watching Bravo's IG Live last week.
Yo.
What?
But she was hacked. It was somebody else. It was her team. Those are her responses.
Oh my gosh. What is this world that we live in?
That's what I'm saying. So things like that happen, and I'm like, are you dumb or was that calculated?
Oh my gosh.
Because it sounds calculated, but then it also sounds just really slow.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
this is
it's
pretty.
like definitely a mixture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. I came in hot.
I'm Lola. And I'm Megan. And we're the hosts of Trust Me, Cults, Extreme Belief, and Manipulation. We both have childhood cult experiences, and we're here to debunk the myths about people who join them
and show that anyone can be manipulated.
Our past interviews include survivors and former members of the Manson family,
NXIVM,
MS-13, Teal Swan,
Heaven's Gate, Children of God,
and the Branch Davidians. Join us every week as we help you spot the red flags.
Get new episodes of Trust Me every Wednesday on PodcastOne
or wherever you get your podcasts.
Just to get away from Rachel for a second, where do you stand with Tom Schwartz right now? How do you feel about him right now? Do you still talk to him?
I don't know how I feel about him.
Has he
and
reached
I
out to you?
literally
Do you
said
reach out
that
to
to
him?
his face when I saw him at Tom Tom last week.
Right.
We had some friends in town, or my cousins, and he had some friends from San Diego. We were at Tom Tom, and I ran into him, and he's like, "Do you hate me?" And I go, "Tom, honestly, I don't know how I feel about you right now."
The puppy dog routine.
That's the best thing I can say.
That's what I've said to him.
The innocent, it's the whole like, Tom. I love the guy, I do, and he plays the it's Tom and that. But do you think he is at fault for a lot of this?
I wouldn't say a lot, but part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
I still don't think we know the exact timeline he knows. I don't
They
think
didn't
it's
even
ever
get
gonna
into
come out.
right at the reunion.
I know.
I love when Lala goes, "Oh, did you not get your story? Did you not get your timelines?" That was awesome.
I know.
August? What?
Yeah.
Late August? You see Tom just like...
He's like, what did I say?
just
What did I
computed.
say? And he's like, I said January earlier,
Yeah.
Schwartz is not a liar. He's not.
But then again, I feel like he did know before Scheana's wedding because
I don't. I do believe that he found out after.
Okay.
I
Because
don't think
he's puppy.
went...
He doesn't pay attention. You know what I mean? Because we all assume that when we see them in public, when we see them at events together, like, oh, it's normal, you know?
Yeah.
And I do think he was there, but then he was bamboozled by the fact that he spoke to him. He was like, look, I'm in love. This is happening.
Gosh.
And he's like, well, first off, he wasn't in love. He was like, this happened, apparently, right?
Right.
So I feel like Schwartz was like, well, bro card here. Pull your head
here's
in,
the
figure it
thing.
out.
Yeah.
And then he just got whooped into this.
yeah.
I don't believe that from Sandoval telling him about the one night stand till mid-January, I don't believe that in those 4.5 months that Schwartz never saw anything weird.
I know.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
So
there
that's
was a
where,
ski trip.
You know, that was mid to late January.
yeah.
So that's when. But I'm
can't-
like, you guys were doing this. You're like double dating. When we were down in
That's
San Diego for
wild.
Sandoval's show, it was Raquel's birthday weekend, and she was like there hanging out with Joe, and I haven't seen Joe in years. I forgot who Joe even was.
Because she was always around Kristen.
And I'm
then
like-
just disappeared after
Yeah.
she started
I'm
hanging out with Tom.
just going to ask you a question. What was the room like when Joe and Kristen were in the room? Because
Oh, my
I've been in the
gosh.
room with one of them together,
Yeah.
and it's a lot.
Well, you know,
When
I
I
love
heard
Kristen
they were
so
friends, I was like, how the fuck was that happening?
We call Joe Kristen 2.0.
much. No, crazier than
Yeah, like she's like
crazy
ChatGPT 4.
Yeah.
Kristen's crazy friend.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
put them in a room together.
That was my question. How did that happen?
I was like,
Listen, Listen, she was always nice. She was a very nice person.
Very nice.
But if you got like stuck in the kitchen with her, you were like, oh shit.
I know.
And I hate talking bad about people because, she was
It's not
kind
bad.
and
She's very kind, but it's just very a lot.
It's
You're
a
like,
lot.
are you going to stop? Is there a question coming? Is this going to finish? Or are we just going to keep going like this?
She
and a
texted
lot
me
of
last
energy,
week.
too. It's like,
She texted me last week, and she said, Jax, I've never done anything mad to you. Can you please stop talking about me on your socials?
Not bad. Not bad. You're an intense person.
Yeah,
very
I am
intense.
too.
But the thing is, Schwartz was hanging out with Joe for that entire time, up until literally February, as far as I know. Maybe they're still hanging out. I don't know. I don't ask
we're getting
anymore.
two different stories from both of them. I asked him directly, Tom, is this your girlfriend? He said no. Now, if you ask her, it's her boyfriend. She told my publicist, Lori, that they are dating. They are holding hands.
but that was back over
But they were
Thanksgiving.
sleeping together.
Yeah, they were
Okay,
sleeping
great.
together.
I
Yeah.
slept with people, too, that I wasn't dating.
Right.
Yeah, but
So
you
are
didn't.
you.
She didn't. But they didn't stay in your
But we all
house.
have.
I just think definitely from end of August till mid-January, Schwartz had to have seen there was still something going on. He knows his best friend. I don't believe that he thought it was just one time and then all of a sudden recently it came back up.
Yeah.
So it's like with him, it's tough because he's guilty by association.
Yeah.
just not-
he
it's
was
just-
dragged into this.
And
But
he's
now
also
I'm
guilty
like,
by not speaking up, but that's
Yeah.
not his
Exactly.
character.
That's
not his character.
We're hating him for his character, but that's what he does.
And
He doesn't
but
step
also,
on the line.
it's
He's a grown man. Like this, it's not his play. Like the fact that he got thrown in this a little bit he's kind of between a rock and a hard place because it's his business partner. Not only is his business partner, and it's his best friend. What was he supposed to do? Yes, you should tell this person, or I'm going to tell her. That's the right thing.
maybe
to do.
he should have
But-
just given a deadline. Like,
Yeah,
look,
a deadline.
Valentine's Day is
hide-
coming up. If you don't tell her by Valentine's Day, I'm going in February 15th.
That's what he
there's
should
too
have done.
much on the line here. We got a business, our friendship. There's just too much going on.
Yeah,
And
there needed to be a grown-up conversation between those two men.
Yeah.
Boys.
there's definitely
Yeah.
never going to be
To
a
have,
grown-up
and it
between
didn't
those two.
happen. And now they're in this position. I think in time, if they both just shut their mouths, keep their heads down, things are going to work out slowly.
Yeah.
Slowly.
I think it will for
but stop
Schwartz.
saying but and stop saying like and stop giving us bullshit anymore.
Yeah. Just
because
be honest.
Because in this
Own
group,
it.
everyone's in this group. You could do some fucked up shit, and everyone will forgive you eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you know what? That's what you guys do on national television. You grow and you learn. This is just a really tough thing to come back
Yeah,
from.
this is a different situation. I agree with Scheana. It's worse. It's further
Yeah.
because they did it like right behind your all's backs.
I know.
That's like what's so
Do you
bad
think they
about
thought
it.
they got away with it? Like at the end
Yes.
of the season,
Yeah.
Yes.
we went glamping with these
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
I know.
And
When
then
he
it's
was
there
touching her
going,
butt though behind scenes.
No,
and,
literally,
like-
you guys. So I just realized this last night when we were watching the show. So Rachel was supposed to share a room with Jenny Ting at the wedding. Literally, day of, they get to the hotel and she tells Jenny Ting, "You can't stay in my room after all. Production won't let you." And Jenny was like, "What am I supposed to?" And she already paid for that room too. Jenny paid for
Jenny
it.
knows production. She gets this, and she said to Rachel, make sure Bravo knows, like production knows, that I'm staying in your room. Make sure.
And she's the one who paid
and
for
she's
it?
the
Yes.
only one, and she's going by herself to be at our wedding with Raquel.
Yeah, her husband couldn't make it.
And her husband was like, make sure, because I know how this works, that you're okay to stay in that room. And then they land in Mexico at the airport. This is
Leave her
friend.
at the airport, by the way, too. She's not allowed to ride in the
They
car
go, you
with
need to jump in
them.
production. You can't come with us, Jenny. So you figure it out. And she's like, what do you mean figure it out?
I have chill bumps.
I'm in a
So-
different country.
In Mexico,
Yes.
Right.
by herself, figure it out. And then
female.
what do you reckon Raquel's response is? Oh, sorry.
Was it Raquel and Tom riding together from
So,
the airport?
I mean, it was everyone.
the cast.
Okay, yeah.
But what I realized last night is I'm like watching all of this and I'm sitting next to Jenny and I was like, oh my God. Because we know I've had several people tell me now that they either saw them kissing, but they thought it was the other Tom.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I know they were hooking up in Mexico. So many people have told me things about them now. So I'm like, oh my God, Jenny, they couldn't hook up in Tom and Ariana's room. They needed a private room.
Oh,
we
my
know that they were
gosh.
hooking up at the wedding. So literally, she lied to you. I said, I guarantee you, Sandoval coached her to be like, just blame it on production. Tell Jenny it's production.
Oh my
Then we can have your
gosh.
room.
Wow,
This
you're
is such good
reaching on that
tea.
one. Is that
No,
tea?
I mean,
Are you
I-
making it or what?
I think
I
it could
just-
be. I mean, I was actually going
It
to
makes
get
sense to
into
me.
your all's wedding
That's
because
what
it
we were
was
going.
so
I was
beautiful.
just going to say we were going to get into the wedding.
And it was absolutely amazing, and we were so glad we got to be there. And I was literally going to say, was there anything behind the scenes that happened that you guys thought was so crazy? Because I remember you talking about about how she said she needed more time to sleep or something one day.
Yeah.
That the bridesmaids were
You
getting
mean
together.
the wedding.
Oh, the wedding
Not
day.
one day.
I can't remember which day it was. Sorry.
The wedding
3
day.
hours late.
Oh,
both of them were 3 hours
Both of them.
late.
Like they arrived at the same time.
Yeah.
But to like the bridal suite
Like
and the guys.
I'm with the groomsmen. We're fully changed and all that. Like
And they didn't pull you aside and say, if
We just thought they were
If
filming.
the roles were reversed, and if it was me, I would have pulled you aside off camera and said, just so you know, I'm late. I'm pretty.
You're going away from the microphone.
I'm late because, production pulled me aside and they wanted me. Just because we're friends, and I would be like, listen, I just don't want you to be mad at me. You know the deal. They pulled me aside just to make me look like late. That way you can be like, okay, I'm mad, but I understand that way.
Yeah.
But he never did that.
Yeah.
Never did that
Well,
at all.
because
Did they actually
production
film?
didn't pull him. He pulled himself off on
No,
Raquel.
they
Oh,
weren't
my God.
filming
They were
at
not
that time.
filming.
No, my friends saw them in a cabana together at the pool that day.
So she was late on your wedding day
Yes.
to hang out at the pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was also seen with Sandoval next to an elevator kissing him. My wedding dress designer saw them kiss right before she came into the bridal suite with me. Like they had just come down
Whoa.
together. And they were like, they knew that one of the Toms in the groomsmen party, like she kissed
just
at
didn't
the
know
white.
the
But
dynamic.
they didn't know which Tom. So they were
Yeah.
like, thought nothing of it until they're like, wait, no, we saw her with mustache Tom.
OMG.
And I was like, what? So then last
my
night, I
gosh.
was like, I guarantee that Jenny, it was never even an issue for you to stay in the room. She probably just lied and said that. So, because Jenny was like, I'll get out of the room. Like, I'll clean up all my stuff. I'll keep it in the closet. I'll leave the room so it just looks like you're staying in here by yourself. She's
bad.
like, no, sorry, you can't stay. Production said.
This is insane.
And this is
Were you guys mad
This
at
is
them?
her same friend that has gone
I
through
didn't
the
know any of
pageantry
this
with
was
her
happening.
and has helped her out and has always been there for
You're
her.
talking about Jenny?
Yeah. Now she's no
That's
longer
how
a
I
friend.
recognized Jenny because I met her last night at the reunion party, and I was like, oh yeah, because I saw her all the time in Raquel's stories and stuff. Whenever I still followed her, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is all just clicking.
I'm going to jump all over the place here a little bit. But first of all, love the wedding. That was probably the best wedding I think I've ever been to in my life. That
We had
was
so much
awesome.
fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was just...
Were y'all
it was-
kind of annoyed at us that we weren't at the same hotel?
We understood.
Be honest.
I understood
We
it. I wasn't
understood.
annoyed. I was just bummed that the kids didn't get to have that
Yeah.
vacation together. And we
We
had this
understood.
massive yard with like a pool
I
and all of that.
know.
So
Yeah. We
I
gotta
was
go
just
back.
bummed.
But
Let's go
we're
back.
going to go back. But like I told you guys, they asked us if we would be interested in filming, and I said, listen, this is their wedding. We're not making this about anything else other than your wedding. You have enough going on. You have all this. There was just so much going on. Let's just be there and be there for them and not have to worry about any of this. And that's why we did what we did. And I hope you guys were okay with that.
No, I totally understood.
Hey everyone, it's Heather Dubrow. Well, after 7 years and hundreds of episodes, I thought it was time to give the podcast a little facelift. We are now Let's Talk with Heather Dubrow. Same old me, but with a new spin. We'll have candid, fun, insightful conversations with my friends and experts to help you live your best life. And yes, I will continue to pull back the curtain on what's going on in my world. So get new episodes of Let's Talk with Heather Dubrow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, I got to ask this question because it's going to be on my mind. Obviously you knew Katie was there. You knew going in. Did you at any point of getting ready to the end of the wedding want to go up to the room and say, do you want to come down and join? At all?
No.
Did you
Not at that time.
Not with Katie.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because I know how you are, Sheena. Like, you everybody having fun. And I thought maybe after a couple cocktails, you're like,
Should
you know
just be-
what?
oh, no.
Yeah, maybe I should
It's
go
not
get
happening.
Katie. She's here.
Not with Katie. I did end up, what you didn't see, you saw like a second of it, was a conversation with Christina Kelly.
Yeah.
We spoke for quite a bit of time and I invited her. I was like, if you want to come down to the after party, but I said not Katie.
you-
Like just you can come with Lala.
The whole summer, they never spoke.
Okay, but going into your relationship a little bit, because we did see your wedding, and we all know that you have beautiful summer, and I love that our kids get to play together and
I
like grow
know.
up together and stuff. What do you think is the best thing about your relationship, and what is like one of the biggest struggles in your relationship?
Struggle, I think, just parenting differences. Like Brock wants something one way, I wanted another way, and just finding that compromise.
Yeah.
Like that has been difficult when it came to like sleep training or certain things she'll eat or what? What? Because you just think you're right?
No, because you look at me and go, I want this, but to get to this, it's difficult, and you don't like to upset her or do that.
No,
but
I don't like to upset
but
her.
you do love the outcome, and you want the outcome, but it's the work to get to that outcome on our parenting styles.
So he feels like he always has to be bad cop. And I also don't think that's fair. But she's a mama's girl, especially like
because
lately.
I'm the bad cop.
It's hard.
No, but
it's really
so-
hard for me to ever get Cruz in trouble, too. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, he can't do that. Like, this is, you're teaching, you're enabling.
Jax, you are just as bad as me.
I'm not about enabling. We got to lay down the law in the beginning because then he doesn't learn. Like, I understand you want to do.
See, honey, this is normal.
He has to learn. That's how I grew
is.
up. And I listen. I know our parenting was back in the 80s, but that's what worked, and that is what I'm trying to instill.
I know. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but like I think one of the biggest struggles that Jackson and I had was spending enough time making enough time for just him and I, because we didn't have a babysitter for so long, and we almost were just like roommates having a baby, with us for a while because we never got to have like alone time, and that was like a big difference for our relationship in the beginning, and I think that a lot of couples go through that.
Yeah.
I think our group is very fortunate because now you guys do have a nanny, right?
Yeah.
Our date nights are pretty iconic. We go to red carpet events,
Yes.
we go to movie premieres.
Yes.
And so it's kind of
Lakers
like...
games.
It's not like we're going to Olive Garden.
We actually
Pretty
really
iconic.
get to enjoy it. And that's why I say whenever we go to our events, it's like, oh, date night. And so now you guys have the nanny there. Oh, you guys have your nanny. We've got her mum.
Yeah.
And that's the best part. I think that...
We're definitely trying a lot more to like spend alone time now that we finally found somebody that we
Yeah.
trust,
Hey, we're all the same. We work together, we play together, we live together, we eat together.
Yeah.
I mean, we do every single thing together, and we're bound to bump heads. That's just gonna happen.
Duh.
For sure.
I prefer that than go to a restaurant and figure out what I want to order because I look at it, I'm like, honey, what am I getting?
Exactly.
And when I go without her, I'm like, wow, what do you suggest? Wait,
Trust me, I have to like do everything for Jackson. It's just kind of like I'm used to it,
Yeah. I think
It's just easier.
I feel like the best part of our relationship, though, is that we are each other's like biggest supporter.
Yeah.
Any business venture he wants to do, literally, no matter what it is, I'm going to support.
I
Because
love that.
his drive and ambition and tenacity and everything, it's just like I know something's gonna hit. One thing is gonna hit big, and I see how
deserve it.
hard he works every day for it. Like with his Homebody app, he was doing that for the whole pandemic, and now they just got acquired. So,
good.
We sold the software, guys. Big announcement coming.
Oh, amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was swimming in the deep end in the tech space. Had no idea what I was doing, but I was like, let's do it. And
But he
learned
did
some
it.
lessons. And
And
then I got out, thank God. And everyone
That's
got their money
awesome.
and everyone got invested across. So we're great with that.
And now he's
Awesome.
on to a new business venture that I fully support.
Well, it's
getting
mainly
into-
just taking care of you, really. Figuring out how to manage this because what we're doing together is awesome.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. I love that. And I'm sure it like is one of your turn-ons that he's like so ambitious about things.
Because that's a complete 180 from what you're used to.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh my gosh, that's speaking of what you were used to. From The Real Becky, has Brock ever met Shay?
No. Every other ex, yes.
Multiple times, but just not Shay.
Wait, did you guys hear that rumor that Shay was on Randall Emmett's movie set? Is that true?
Probably.
The fact that I text him and asked, and it's the first time he hasn't responded to me since we got divorced, I think it's true.
Oh
Why
my
was he on
gosh.
I don't know. Lala told me
Because-
she heard that, so I was like, "Do you want me to text him?" Because like I just talked to him the week before, and I text him, and
What's he doing? Just
That's
dropping
such
off
a,
some
he
drugs
didn't
for him,
respond.
or
That's
was
such
it
a Randall thing to do. To like, I bet you he's reaching out to Tom Sandoval.
That was our next question. Do you
Yeah.
think Randall's
Well,
reached out to Sandoval?
Because like, can't you imagine him doing that? Because he's so like,
He wants to be in it.
Yes.
He wants to be in the
he
thick of it.
does.
Yeah.
I could see him doing it.
I could see that.
I mean, gosh, but if he did have Shay on a movie set, like how random is that? He wasn't even around when
know.
Shay was around.
That's what he does. That's what Randall does.
I know.
He finds like something like a vulnerability somewhere out of somebody, and he'll grab at that. And he's done that with us. And I'm not
gosh,
going to
yeah.
talk about who, but he's done this before. So this is what he does. This is his MO. He sees like a vulnerability somewhere or somewhere where he can like kind of stick it in below the belt kind of move, and that's what he does.
Just so weird.
By
He's
the way,
he's
we
a
just have to
degenerate.
touch on the Randall scandal really fast.
Yes.
Let's touch on
Because that was such a good
It
documentary.
was such a good
By the way, though,
it was portrayed and written very, very
Yeah.
well.
That's just the
it was
tip of the
tip
iceberg.
of the iceberg.
Yeah.
There is so much more. There are so many more assistants. There are so many more disgusting, disturbing stories. I was part of it. I was there for a lot of it, and it's cringy. I had to walk away at times. Brittany, you were there. We're all there. There's times where he was with his assistants, and you just wanted to like, oh my God, he's really.
It was so embarrassing how he treated his assistants.
Yeah.
I will tell a story really fast because this just goes along with the Randall scandal. Right whenever we had just found out we were pregnant, I don't know if you guys remember, like me, Stassi, Katie, Lala, Jax, like all the guys, we took a houseboat trip.
Yes, I remember. I wasn't invited.
We were sorry. I wasn't the one inviting people. It was all Randall.
I know.
But we were all on that houseboat trip, and like we hadn't even announced we were pregnant yet. Like it was all brand new, but we were having a good time. Well, he had his assistant there who I drove all the way. I mean, we were in Vegas, so it was like hours and hours of a drive. He was so mean to his assistant, kept making him leave and go to get him different things and do different things. Well, then at the very end of the night, he wanted to like drive home because he had a dog at the house and he was not supposed to stay. Randall made him stay and sleep in his freaking car. In his car.
I just belittled him.
And belittled him in front of everybody. I mean, it was
awful.
Terrible. And they paid for things out of their own money.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing.
Never got reimbursed. It was just awful.
I think hopefully like the fact that this has been what she's been doing and then bringing it to light. I think the Randall scandal, people are going to watch this, and that's why it didn't end. Because there's more to come.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
this is going to just be like, people are going to feel like, wait, that guy was an asshole to me, and I thought he had this power over me. I thought it was this. And it's
I'm
coming.
sure a lot of more people are going to start coming forward, and I hope that he never gets to work again.
Yeah,
I hate to say
just
that,
this week, I mean, we were hearing stuff like yesterday.
Yeah.
New people coming forward. So
I think people just kind of wanted to see how this was going to come out, and I think now that people, this is okay. Say, even me, I might even say something. I don't know.
You're saying something.
I'm saying something. Now. You're right. I'm saying just because he owes me money. He owes me $75,000. Now I'm not a studio. I'm not Sony. I'm not Paramount. I'm not these big studios who can be like, whatever. I'm a family man. I'm putting food on the table.
Jax
I'm
loves
not
to say this.
I'm not going to Miami. I'm not buying Rolls Royces. I'm not doing this. I'm trying to put food on the table and save up for my kids' education. So to take money from a guy like me, I put it on social media the other day. I'm like,
he tagged 50 Cent.
Fiddy, how do I get my 75 back?
I go, what do you think? Would this be funny if I did this, right? And I got a bunch of feedback. I got all these millionaire poker players. We're so sorry. We're so sorry that he's doing this. We're going to help you get your money back. I got all these emails. My manager, Ryan, reached out to me. He's like, I got a bunch of emails from poker players saying he owes all this money and this money, but those people can afford it. You're a family guy. He's like, we're going to try our best to get the money for you because we just feel bad. And I was just so like, thank you so much. Like, that means a lot because like I said, that's a lot of money. I can't afford. It was a loan, not an investment.
Right.
There's a big difference between a loan and an investment. I knew I was going to get my money back. Mm-hmm. I can't afford to make a $75,000 investment. My wife would have left me if I made that investment without telling her.
Well, yeah.
So this was just a big deal, and it's like, it's just I'm just going to keep going with him, and he's the troll of the week
every week
until I get my money.
Yeah. So troll of the week is still Randall
real quick. I wanted Brock to talk about his new business real quick because it's so cool. Because I'm into cars, and I want you to tell us a little bit about your new venture, which is really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, obviously being in this world, I kind of like stepped into it, really kicked in the front door actually, and was like, "G'day, I'm here." And then it took a second to breathe, and it was just great. There's great people around the show and outside of it. So I started getting into a bit of pre-production for a reality show for a car club called Fast Lane Drive, and it's a supercar club. My friends actually started it, and my friend moved here from France 13, 14 years ago, was an Uber driver in San Diego, started networking, and we got a real knack for networking. Ended up renting a Ferrari. Him and his boys got cars, and they met up with everyone else that had Ferraris in San Diego and Lamborghinis. And we're like, let's do a drive. And they did a drive, and they loved it. And they built on that. And so since then, 5 years later, they've got charters in San Diego, LA, Las Vegas, Scottsdale, Miami.
Oh, like a little motorcycle club? Like Sons of Anarchy?
Like a biker.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's like the Soho House of a car club.
Oh, that's cool.
So and then they're opening Monaco next month in July. They're going to go to Monaco, France.
Oh, wow.
So now if you're a member and you go to one of their events, now you just have 50 new high-level network individuals that are in that car club that are now your friends. So you're going to go meet them, and you're going to hang out with them and do drives and talk about the cars at the backdrop, but the relationships and the networking is the front of house.
Wow.
And in the car club, the top drivers, 4 of them, 2 of them are actually female members.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it just throws a whole new dynamic in there. So
I love that.
I kind of like saw it coming out for like 5 years, and I was like, I wonder what would be like a reality show where you get the car lovers, but you're still like, these guys have great lives,
right?
And they're great friends.
And those are the people that you want to surround yourself with.
Correct.
People that are successful. That's,
like your real friends. I think that makes a big difference in reality shows.
It has to, because now you guys are tied to something. So regardless of what comes in front, your roots are deep. You know, but it's been a really great opportunity, and I'm enjoying it a lot. But I can't wait for you to come out.
I was just going to say, when is it coming out?
Well, are you going to go to Vegas with us?
Yeah,
we are.
We're going to Vegas,
bro. We're shutting down the Vegas Strip, and we're driving down the Vegas Strip that weekend on Saturday.
Okay, great. So then we'll get to talk about it when we come back, and we'll get some video. And we'll show everybody what it's about, and then you'll have a release date coming up soon.
Yeah, so we just did our sizzle. So we shot the sizzle, and it looks phenomenal.
Awesome.
There's helicopters, jets, like it's the real thing. So hopefully, the audience sees it, and we're going to present it to some streaming platforms.
Oh, congrats! Well, good luck with that.
This time went by so
Yes.
fast.
Oh my gosh!
So quick.
I feel like I have so much more to talk about.
Let's do rapid fire questions.
Okay, I do have a couple rapid
bang,
fire.
bang, and we'll hit it with a
Okay, rapid question. Who's your favorite person on the current cast?
Ariana.
Sheena.
That's a good one. What do you wish you could have said on the reunion that you didn't?
Ooh.
It's hard.
I don't know, because I feel like for what I was able to do, I was able to say everything. I couldn't say anything to Rachel, obviously, so there's a lot that I still would have to say.
That's
but
true.
every day that passes, it just...
I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have just sat there and shut up and smiled.
And just took it all in.
Yeah.
Okay, best parenting advice.
Oh.
Communication with each other.
Yeah.
Got to be on the same page, because when you're not, you fight.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. Just try to get on the same page.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Mine is consistency. I think if you have a schedule and you fall off it, just go straight back on it. It doesn't matter if the kid sleeps in later or if they don't sleep, but just get straight the next time block. But if you miss 2 schedules, then you're going to really add pressure.
Yeah.
So as soon as you miss one, just get back. It's normal. The next nap schedule or that schedule, get back on it.
Side note, huge fan of the whiteboard thing that you guys do. I probably want to adopt that at some point, but yeah, I love that. So favorite thing about each other?
Honestly, I've fallen in love with her heart, and I say this every time because it makes me a better person.
Exactly. I agree. I'm going to steal that too. That's right.
So many things, obviously, but the way he makes me feel loved, I've never felt before. That's why I just couldn't get rid of him.
Oh, I love that. Okay, least favorite thing about each other.
Ooh. Where do we start?
Her confidence in herself.
Oh,
yeah.
That's my. I think that's
even though you should be the most confident girl in the world.
Thank you, but I'm not. He has a bit of a temper at times, like similar to Jax. Where he's just a hothead, and you're like, calm the fuck down.
we have very short fuses.
We don't have short fuses. We just get to the solution quicker than everybody else.
Yes.
So now we're waiting there going, come on.
That honestly is your worst quality. That's the thing that bothers me the most about him.
Okay. One last rapid question. Ideal date night. Favorite kind of date night?
Anything that involves free food and free alcohol.
Oh, I love it.
That's
why we're friends.
I love going to a movie.
Yeah. God, we haven't been to a movie in forever.
You say that, but now we've had the kids. I think we've gone to like 2.
I know.
I wish we could all go see The Little Mermaid together.
We should.
Why don't we just go to a matinee?
I'm going to Kentucky on Saturday.
Oh, well, we'll still be out for a while.
We'll wait.
Okay. Wait for me to come back, and then we'll take all the babies.
Done.
All right, we got to do a part 2 of this at some point because this is just too good. But we're going to take off. Thank you guys all for listening to When Reality Hits with Jax and Brittany. Thank you to Brock and Sheena for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Can't wait for next week's reunion.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Woo!
Congratulations,
Love you
guys, on the party. This was fun.
Thank you. Thanks for
guys.
coming.
Really appreciate it. Talk to you later.